Hi everyone, I'm Paulette from Tulip Square, and this week I'm going to show you how to make one of these very popular flower basket squares. Some people are intimidated by these, and there's so many different ways to make them, but we're just going to show you a simple way to make it. So we're going to head over to the sewing machine and have some fun. Let's go. Okay, to make this flower garden block, you're going to need white fabric. You're also going to need some color that you're going to use for your little basket or bowl, whatever it is. I'm going to use this green polka dot for the bowl. And then you're going to need some random scraps in all different colors, or if you want them all to be one color, that's fine too. But I'm going to use all different scraps of colors. I've got just an assortment of colors here. So what you're going to do is you're going to set aside the smaller squares and the rectangles for now. We don't need those right now. And all of the larger squares, which I think are 2 7/8, I think 2 7/8. You're going to take those and you're going to pair them up. You're going to pair one white and green, or your bowl color, white and green. You're going to pair up 5 of the whites with assorted colors, and then you're going to pair up 3 colors with green squares. So you've got a color and a green, like so. And this is a red and a green. So you're going to have all of those, and you're going to draw a diagonal line on the back, on the lighter side, whichever your fabric you can see better. You're going to draw a diagonal line on the back, and you sew a 1/4 inch seam on each side of that line you drew. So I've got all of mine marked, and I'm going to go ahead and sew all of these diagonal lines. Now once you've got them all sewn on both sides of your seam, just like this, on both sides of the line you drew, just like this, you're going to cut on that line that you drew. And you can use scissors or you can use your rotary cutter, doesn't matter. And then what you do is you open each half up and you press it towards the darker color. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and press all of these. Okay, so now you've got a little stack of them that are white with all these different flowered colors. A couple that are white with the green, which I'm going to set aside. Those go in a specific spot. And then you've got a handful of them that are green with colors. You're going to sew these together in rows. You're going to do a row of 4 with white triangles, and always with the white triangle in the upper right corner. You can see these 4. That's your first row. And then you're going to make a row of 4 that are 3 with the white, and then the 4th one, the colored one, goes in that upper left corner, and the green goes at the bottom. And then you're going to do a row of 3 that is 2 whites up in the upper left, and the next one is colored and green. And then you're going to do one row that's only 2 squares. That's just a white up in the corner and then one at the green at the bottom. So that's what your 4 rows are going to look like. So just sew those together in your 4 rows. And you will have one extra of these, because when you make them in pairs, and so whichever one you don't want to use, you don't need that. And you still have 2 of these, so hang on to those. We're not ready for those yet. Okay, now I've got these 4 rows all sewn, and what I did is I pressed them all, and I pressed them in opposite directions. This one I pressed all to the left. This one I pressed to the right. This one to the left, and this one to the right. That way, when I sew them together, they will nestle nicely. You don't want all the seams all bunched up on the same side of everything. So we're going to set those to a side. On the end of this one, I'm going to take one of my smaller green squares and sew that to here. And on this one, I'm going to sew the last 2 green squares. So I'm going to sew those and finish those 2 squares, and I'm going to press those in the same directions that I pressed the first couple parts. Okay, now you've got just 4 rows each with 4 squares, and we're just going to sew these together, and we've already pressed them so their seams are alternating. So go ahead and sew the 4 of them together to make a little block of 16 squares. So now you've got this all sewn together. You've got your 16 little pieces, and it's starting to look pretty cute, isn't it? So now you're going to take your 2 white triangles and your 2 green pieces, and you're going to sew a white rectangle, with against the green triangle in this direction, and then you're going to sew the other one the opposite way, this way. Okay, now you're going to take one of those pieces, doesn't matter which one, and sew it to its edge right here. Set that one aside for a second. And I'm just going to sew this one along the bottom edge here. Then on your last piece like this, you're going to sew a little white square right here. Now you've got this piece done. It's pressed. And I'm going to take this last little piece and sew it right here. And there's your finished block. It's kind of cute, isn't it? And I hope we took the mystery out of it for you. A lot of people kind of shy away from blocks like this because they look too hard, and it really isn't. It's a pretty simple little block. So I hope you enjoyed that one. So now you know how to make the flower basket block. Cute either way. It can also be put on things this way. Looks kind of cute in a table runner if you alternate them. Looks pretty cute. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little notify bell if you'd like to be notified when we have a new pattern or a new video. And if you need the PDF for this, it's in a link right up here somewhere. So we hope you have a good week, and we'll see you again next week with a brand new video. Bye-bye.